losing out money. You got to take drugs. You're going through so much shit to try and deal with life.
Tuesday, June 10th, 2025, 9:30 a.m. PST. The Los Angeles federal courthouse hummed with an electric tension. Sean Diddy Combs sat at the defense table, his polished facade barely concealing the internal storm of mounting racketeering and sex trafficking allegations already dismantling his empire. Today, however, a new unforeseen variable was about to be injected into his carefully constructed reality. Terrence Howard, resolute and weary, took the witness stand. His eyes, burning with prophetic resolve, sought the cameras, determined to expose a truth previously suppressed by Hollywood's power structures. Prosecutor Linda Chen's precise question cut through the silence. "Mr. Howard, do you possess any information regarding potential victims of Mr. Sean Combs not yet disclosed?" A sudden chilling hush fell. Diddy, momentarily losing his composure, flickered with raw panic as Howard began. "Yes, Ms. Chen. What happened to Diddy's adopted daughter, Ava Combs?" The courtroom fractured. Murmurs rippled through the gallery as Diddy's mask dissolved. Howard recounted how, in April 2020, Diddy introduced Ava as his adopted daughter on Instagram Live, a perfectly crafted illusion of philanthropy during the global shutdown. But then, as abruptly as she appeared, Ava vanished. No more posts, no more photos. Her sudden, absolute disappearance was a chilling, deafening silence, Howard declared. He leaned into the microphone, his voice a low, fierce whisper. "This is not merely abandonment. It's a critical data point in a disturbing pattern, intrinsically linked to the dark subroutines we're uncovering. I urge investigators to look into Ava Combs. Her story is key to unlocking the true architecture of Diddy's alleged crimes." The focus in the courtroom shifted. Ava Combs' name now a gravitational anomaly, pulling all eyes towards the concealed depths of Diddy's shadowy empire. Spring 2020 saw the world contracting in the grip of a global pandemic, but within the fortress-like opulence of Sean Diddy Combs' sprawling Holmby Hills estate, a parallel universe pulsed with its own self-serving logic. Small, clandestine gatherings defied public health mandates. Bass lines throbbed behind soundproof walls, and deals, often illicit, were brokered in the velvet-lined anonymity of his inner sanctums. Diddy, the consummate showman, ever attuned to the shifting currents of public perception, sensed an opportune moment amidst the widespread fear. "Get that girl, Ava. Make sure she's styled to perfection, like a porcelain doll," Diddy instructed one of his retinue of assistants, his eyes glinting with a calculated spark. "We're going live on the digital feed. The world craves a narrative of purity, a fable of redemption." Ava Combs, then a fragile 11-year-old, possessed hair the color of spun moonlight and eyes of an innocent, startling blue. She was the offspring of a trusted friend of Diddy's late partner, Kim Porter. Following Porter's untimely demise in late 2018, Ava and her family had been brought into Diddy's orbit, a nebulous and often financially motivated arrangement. Ava became a frequent, if not permanent, resident within the Combs estate, often seen playing with Diddy's own daughters, Jessie and Delilah. On that particular day in April 2020, Ava was clad in an ethereal white dress, her hair meticulously styled, her youthful face subtly touched with just enough makeup to appear radiant under the camera's unforgiving gaze. Diddy, sprawling on a custom-designed sofa, pulled Ava gently to his side, a practiced, almost pre-programmed smile fixed on her small face. Behind the lens of the high-end smartphone, a team of digital architects meticulously calibrated lighting, confirmed network stability, and adjusted angles, each a subservient cog in the elaborate machinery of Diddy's projected persona. "Yo, what up, fam? In these wild times," Diddy boomed, his voice radiating an almost manufactured exuberance. I want to introduce you all to a true beacon, an angel who has entered my life, illuminating these dark days." He draped an arm around Ava, drawing her closer, their faces side by side. "This is Ava Combs, my adopted daughter. The Combs family just got bigger, y'all." The comments section of the live stream erupted, a torrent of digital adulation. "Oh, so pure. Diddy's got a heart of gold. Blessings on your new family." Millions across the globe, yearning for a narrative of hope amidst their own confinement, witnessed this perfectly staged tableau, willingly suspending disbelief. It was a flawless visual algorithm, a PR symphony meticulously conducted to drown out the growing cacophony of whispers regarding Diddy's increasingly uninhibited lifestyle and the nascent rumors of illicit parties. Following the broadcast, Ava's presence in the Combs orbit was briefly maintained. She appeared in a few more carefully curated family photos posted to Diddy's sprawling social media grid through mid-2020, each image meticulously crafted to reinforce his fabricated image as a doting father. She played with Jesse and Delilah. Their laughter, when captured, seemed innocent enough. But beneath the polished surface, a chilling detachment prevailed. Ava wasn't genuinely adopted. She was a strategic deployment. She was a tool, a symbol, a fleeting character in the grand, ongoing theatrical production Diddy was performing for the world. Her innocence, a valuable commodity, was leveraged, then discarded. The sudden vanishing act was brutal. Ava was pulled from the public eye as swiftly as she was introduced, like a program being terminated, an unneeded subroutine deleted from the primary code. Her abrupt total disappearance from a family that documented every mundane moment was an anomalous void, a glaring rupture in the digital history of the Combs dynasty. A void noticed only by those who possessed the keen analytical eye to spot the anomalies, like Terrence Howard. The silence around Ava's absence was deafening, a stark contrast to the performative glee of her introduction. It was a silent testament to her true value in Diddy's warped world. Disposable. In his tumultuous career, Terrence Howard had witnessed countless dark facets of Hollywood, from its glittering triumphs to its crushing defeats. He was an actor of profound talent, possessing an innate ability to see through the many masks people wore, to glimpse the raw truth beneath the polished veneer. But nothing, not even the most cynical of his experiences, could have prepared him for the horrifying scene he stumbled upon in the spring of 2020 at Diddy's sprawling Holmby Hills mansion. The air, thick with the scent of expensive cigars and unspoken illicit deals, felt heavy with a sense of foreboding that day, a grim premonition of the darkness to come. Howard found himself at one of Diddy's clandestine gatherings, ostensibly a casual get-together, but truly a meticulously crafted performance for a select audience. He hadn't paid much attention to the parade of celebrity faces and sycophantic hangers-on until Diddy, with a beaming artificial smile that didn't quite reach his eyes, pulled a little girl towards him. She had hair the color of spun moonlight and eyes of an innocent, startling blue that seemed to hold all the vulnerability in the world. It was Ava Combs, a fragile 11-year-old. Diddy introduced Ava with a performative flourish, a booming paternal voice, as if she were a newly discovered gem, an adopted daughter he had magnanimously rescued from the clutches of circumstance. He watched from a distance, a knot of unease tightening in his gut. Something was off. He'd seen Diddy's theatrics countless times, his calculated displays for public consumption, but this time, a coldness, a disturbing chill emanated from the very core of the performance. It wasn't just a show, it felt predatory. Immediately after the elaborately staged Instagram Live broadcast, a moment designed to flood the digital realm with Diddy's manufactured philanthropy, Howard inadvertently overheard a conversation. He found himself near a secluded alcove where Diddy was speaking in hushed yet intensely audible tones with one of his close associates, a man whose face was etched with cynical resignation. "This kid," Diddy remarked, his voice a low, contemptuous sneer that sent a shiver down Howard's spine, "is just a pawn to shut down all those stupid rumors. The market is demanding a compassionate narrative right now, something pure to distract them from other things." He laughed, a short, humorless bark that echoed in the opulent room, utterly devoid of warmth. "It's best if it looks like I'm doing something noble, isn't it? The idiotic masses will swallow it whole, hook, line, and sinker." A visceral jolt of shock ran through Howard. His blood ran cold. He couldn't believe his ears. This wasn't just a cynical business move. This was a soul-deep betrayal of innocence. Diddy wasn't just treating Ava as a cold PR tool. He was speaking about her with a casual, almost terrifying disdain that suggested a profound, terrifying lack of empathy. "She's so fragile," Diddy continued, his voice dripping with thinly veiled cruelty. "Just a plaything, easy to control, so eager to please. Just like all the other fame-hungry fools in this industry who will do whatever it takes to get to the top." As Howard's gaze fell upon Ava, she was innocently playing with Jesse and Delilah on a plush rug, a childish smile still on her face as she clutched a doll. But to Howard, that smile now seemed tinged with profound tragedy, a fragile mask over a vulnerable soul. He saw the impending exploitation, the crushing weight of an innocent spirit about to be callously leveraged and then discarded. The image burned into his mind. Diddy's sheer contempt and venomous sarcasm directed at a defenseless child sent shivers of revulsion through Howard's entire being. He realized that Diddy was not merely a master manipulator, he was a cold-blooded predator, a puppet master pulling strings with a chilling disregard for the human cost, ready to trample anyone, even a child, to maintain his carefully constructed illusion of power. That searing moment, witnessing such calculated malice, etched itself deep into Howard's conscience, solidifying into a fierce, unshakable resolve that would ultimately fuel his quest for justice. After that harrowing encounter, Terrence Howard was consumed by Ava Combs' image and Diddy's profound cruelty. Ava's innocent face, juxtaposed with Diddy's venomous words, haunted his thoughts. He knew he couldn't stand idly by. His conscience demanded action to protect this vulnerable child. Challenging Diddy's vast, ruthless empire felt monumental, yet inaction was unthinkable. Diddy's sneer, his words a plaything easy to control, fueled Howard's cold, steady anger. He had to act for Ava, and for any others Diddy might have exploited. Understanding the immense risk, Howard initiated a secret, methodical campaign. He couldn't confront Diddy directly without risking his own career, so he aimed to expose the rot from within. He subtly contacted industry acquaintances, planting seeds of inquiry, listening to whispers, and meticulously noting every detail. He strategically focused on Gene Deal, Diddy's former chief of security, knowing Gene's integrity and his decades of witnessing Diddy's inner workings. Howard painstakingly built a rapport with Gene, appealing to a shared desire for accountability rather than coercion. In clandestine meetings, Howard confided his anguish over Ava, painting a heartbreaking picture of the innocent pawn in Diddy's dark game. "Gene," he'd pleaded, "you were there. You saw things. This little girl, she just disappeared. What do you think happened to her?" This raw honesty resonated with Gene, stirring his conscience. Beyond human intelligence, Howard meticulously researched Diddy's past scandals, poring over old news, cryptic documents, and industry gossip. He sought patterns and systemic flaws in Diddy's manipulation. Ava's abrupt disappearance after her publicized introduction became a critical focal point, a glaring anomaly and undeniable proof of Diddy's calculated deceit. A missing child. That was the key. Howard began compiling a detailed dossier, cross-referencing every lead, preparing for the precise moment to unleash its devastating impact. Howard understood the grave danger of this clandestine operation. Diddy was a ruthless adversary with pervasive influence. But retreat was not an option. Ava's exploited image and Diddy's cruel words fueled his resolve. His plan was a meticulously orchestrated war of attrition, slowly dismantling Diddy's empire from the shadows. He would chip away at the deception, exposing the rot, until he amassed undeniable proof. Howard believed with unshakable conviction that the truth, once revealed, would be the sharpest blade to sever Diddy's intricate web of lies. Back in the courtroom on Tuesday, June 10, 2025, 9:30 a.m. PST, the weight of Terrence Howard's testimony, the chilling revelations about Ava Combs, and Gene Deal's confessions hung heavy in the air. Prosecutor Linda Chen directly accused Diddy, declaring, "Mr. Howard's testimony is a critical data packet, revealing an empire built on manipulation and exploitation." She highlighted Diddy's alleged use of fame and power to exploit innocents, including Ava Combs, whom he showcased as an adopted daughter before ruthlessly discarding her, calling her a mere PR construct, a clear demonstration of the defendant's absolute inhumanity. Despite Diddy's lawyers' desperate objections, Chen's words swayed the jury. Diddy's facade crumbled, revealing raw vulnerability. After hours of deliberation, the jury returned. Judge Davies asked, "Has the jury reached a verdict?" The foreperson stood and pronounced, "Yes, Your Honor, guilty." A collective gasp swept the room. Diddy physically imploded, his shoulders slumping and eyes vacant, as the guilty verdict echoed for federal sex trafficking, racketeering, sexual assault, and drug distribution. The courtroom erupted in a mix of disbelief, grim satisfaction, and tears, a profound collective sigh of relief that justice had finally pierced through the pervasive illusion. Terrence Howard watched Diddy being led away in handcuffs, his gaze showing deep sorrow, not triumph. He knew this was just the beginning, with more truths about Ava and countless other victims yet to be discovered. However, on this fateful day, a significant part of the darkness had been breached, and an empire built on deception had finally imploded.